pause, my eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark. Happy Tuesday or Wednesday to everyone. Hump Day, happy Hump Day, Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I know I am. Had a long morning, but, trying to get stuff done. Tonight, remember, is our Thunder post-game show that we're going to do give our grades and kind of give a Thunder post-game thing. And then every Wednesday, we're going to do our Thunder show where we're going to be on Apple and we're going to be on Spotify where we're going to do a podcast talking about the Thunder, talking about the season, what's coming up, who the trades are, just rumors and stuff like that. So tonight we're going to do all of that tonight, give the rumor or give the who we think the Thunder should trade for and all that. So looking forward to doing that and getting back into the groove of supporting the Thunder and giving the breakdowns of what we believe is going to happen and kind of give you our analysis. And then also, remember, go to search the Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark on YouTube, and if you want to subscribe, hit notifications, and also we will be able to come on and you can comment, ask questions. And like I said, After the Storm, our Thunder show, we have tons of people. Sometimes we have people come in and comment on this show, and sometimes we don't. So if you have comments or questions or anything like that, if you do it on Facebook, I have to go back and look at them and answer them afterwards. But on YouTube, go ahead, search the Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark. Like, subscribe, hit notifications, and you can comment and also ask questions if you want to, but definitely give your input. And then, of course, After the Storm, OKC Thunder, search that. And like, subscribe, hit notifications for that as well. We missed yesterday. I was at Georgia's Happy Hog, which we're pretty much every Tuesday, brought to you by YNB, the bank that makes things happen. Anyway, so we were doing that, and we did not get a chance to do, and we're going to talk about this tonight, but let me go ahead and give SGA his flowers by making his second back-to-back for NBA All-First teams. That team is nasty. And, of course, there's 4 European players, international players, and then 1 American player, Jason Tatum. And pretty much we had said that's who we thought it should be on the team. That is a nasty 5 right there. I mean, you've got scorers, you got guys who can pretty much defend. Luka has become a defender. And Jokic does what he does in the middle, but with SGA and Jason Tatum on the wings along with Giannis, you've got defenders and you've got shot blockers, so that makes a huge difference. And, when you look at what SGA did this past playoffs, he led the Thunder in scoring, he led the Thunder in rebounds, he led the Thunder in assists, he was second in steals and second in block shots. So that just says a lot about what he is and what he means to the team. But congratulations to SGA. We wanted to give him his flowers. We wanted to do that yesterday, but my guy Drew Henthorne of Husker Drew Picks, we got talking and, we got into other kind of stuff, and so we really didn't get a chance to get into it. But want to give him his props and Sam Presti for making that move and all the picks that we got out of getting rid of Paul George. I won't say getting rid of Paul George, wanted out to go play with Kawhi. SGA, is he a little salty about it? I mean, I would be, but at the same time, look, let's face it, this is Oklahoma City, not LA. Okay, so let's just say that right off the bat. So this is Oklahoma City, not LA. But on the flip side of that, he's got a chance to really flourish. He's got a chance to really be himself. The question is, would he be all NBA if he was playing for the Clippers? Probably not. He would be a great role player to go along with with Kawhi. Then again, maybe he would have. I mean, it is possible since Kawhi never plays. So, which is crazy because it's just amazing to me that they're not offering Paul George more money than Kawhi. He's available. Kawhi is not. Uh, I don't really understand it, but I mean they're just letting him know that Kawhi is the guy, and that you're second, and we're gonna pay you behind him. We're not gonna pay you more than him because he is the man. So Paul George has to make a decision. Do you stay in L.A.? Do you go to the Lakers? Which I would say no. Do you go to the Golden State Warriors? I'd probably say no. The Sixers have offered him a max deal. And man, that's a lot of money to turn down. I mean, it's, what is it, 70, 80, 100 million or whatever. It would be the difference in what the Clippers offered him versus what he would be making with the Sixers. To me, that's a no-brainer. If you ask me, I'm already in. I'm like, I'm not, this is my last contract. I'm not turning down that kind of money. I'm just not. I mean, and you're not either. It would be different if it was, 15, 20, something like that. And, if you've been in the league so long and you made a bunch of money. But 80, 90 to 100 million, you're going to turn that down to stay in L.A.? Yeah, no, I can deal with the cold. I can deal with the cold. Plus, I get to play with Embiid. Plus, I get to play with Maxey. Plus, you got a chance to the East is not as strong as the West, so you have a chance to come out of there. The only thing you have to really worry about is the Celtics and the Bucks. So, I mean, to me, that's just kind of an easy decision. Or, hey, you can always think about South Beach, which I don't think they're going to. That's maybe not an option, but those things are available as well. But to me, Paul George, I'm out of. I mean, the Clippers are the Clippers. They offered Tyronn Lue, and I think I forget, they didn't say exactly what he got paid, but I mean, I'm keeping Tyronn Lue, and I'm not letting him go to the Lakers. And Steve Ballmer has way more money than the Lakers do to pay a coach. And the Lakers don't always necessarily pay their coaches a lot of money, but I mean, Steve Ballmer is loaded, especially since he basically paid for the Intuit Dome by himself, the new arena that the Clippers are now in. He basically paid for that himself, and then of course you get a bank sponsor to come in and put their name on it. That helps cover the cost, kind of like what Jerry Jones did. But that's what rich, successful businessmen do. They make great decisions. That's how it's done. Anyway, last night in the NBA, man, I can tell you what a great game that was. We were talking about that yesterday, seeing if the Timberwolves are going to be able to beat the Mavs. And Drew had picked the Mavs. He took the Mavs points, and, he was wrong, which he is occasionally, not very often. Husker Drew picks, he's pretty good. He's pretty much on point. He's not wrong. He's not wrong very often. I can promise you that because I've been, with him for over a year and a half that we've been together, and he's been doing his picks. And if you've been with him, you've made way more money than you've lost. But anyway, T-Wolves take care of business 105-100 in Dallas, which, I mean, I love the game, but the Dallas Mavericks missed Lively. They're a completely different team without Lively than they are with him. I mean, they're just completely different. And Cleveland came back and played a little bit, which Drew and I talked about, that we felt that he needed to do to kind of get his feet wet before they play Boston in the finals. Ant-Man, there was some stuff about him, talking about, him and, oh my God, Michael Parsons after the game. Well, he's a great athlete. Michael's a great athlete. They play different sports. He and Micah are about the same size, which we talked about that, before when we were asking if NBA players could play in the NFL. And we were talking about Ant-Man was one of those guys. Lou Dort was one of those guys. And you could see that, Ant-Man, he could he could definitely play defense. He has the mentality. He has that dog in him. So I think he could definitely play defense, defensive end, outside linebacker, whatever. Or maybe even play tight end because he is fast, he is quick, and he does have great hands, and he has vision. So either one of those positions he could play very easily. But that being said, I mean, the media was talking about, I mean, what's it to say? They talked. Who cares? Why is it your business what they talked about? And I thought it was funny that Ant-Man was talking about him having his Jordan 11s on, asking what size he does, and he goes, I'll see you for game 6 and bring you a pair. And so, like I said, I thought, I was talking to my guy, Aria, and we were talking about that. I said, I think that the Timberwolves probably win game 5 and then come back and Dallas closes it out in game 6 in Dallas. That's kind of my thought process. That's what I told him yesterday that I thought would happen. I just didn't see Dallas sweeping them, even though Kyrie is undefeated. Now he's 14-1. I said, somebody it looks like he'll be 14-2, and I think Dallas will close him out in Dallas. But that being said, who knows what's going to happen? But Karl Anthony Towns did show up. There was a sighting of him last night, and they're not going to win unless he scores. They're just not. You can't in the NBA in the playoffs. It's just like what we saw with the Thunder. SGA was playing. Nobody else was. Game 1, you had Chet playing. You had J-Dub playing. Joe playing. All the role players were doing the role things in Game 1. Game 4, SGA took over and just said, screw it, we're not going to lose. And he basically beat Dallas in Game 4 by scoring 4 straight times. Then Game 5 and 6, Coach changes the lineups for whatever reason. Don't really understand that move, but, that would have been fine with me if he'd have put Kaysen in there instead of Isaiah Joe, who hadn't played well. To me, it's like you got to know who's playing well. You can't, you can't be let me build up my players' mentality in the playoffs. You got to look to win each game, and that was not the way he does, and that's not who he is. But anyway, great game, I thought, last night by the T-Wolves. They came back and did what they needed to do to win the game, and, I'm glad that it's kind of going on a little bit longer because I think that helps the Mavericks. I don't believe that the Timberwolves are going to come back and win 4 straight. By the way, it's never happened in the NBA. Never happened. Up 3-0 and lose a series. No one's ever come back from 4, have won 4 straight games. So I don't think that's going to happen with Luka and Kyrie. I think they'll close them out. Like I said, I believe if not in Game 5, Game 6 for sure, which is going to kind of help Dallas and hurt them a little bit because Luka needed the rest in order to get his body well. On the other side, it helps them because Kleber now gets to play and kind of get back into the groove again because they're a different team with him. And then I don't know what that's going to prove for Lively because we don't know if he's going to play or not. I think if he plays in Game 5, I think that makes a huge difference with Dallas. And plus, you got to remember, Kleber came back and he played, and I think that kind of got Dallas out of the rotation that they had been in against the Clippers and against us as far as playing without him and everybody knowing their role, and it just kind of changed up everything, kind of like when the Thunder started a different lineup in Game 5. So a lot of times that kind of go for or against. This is how I look at it, though. Like I just said, I believe that it helps Dallas in a couple ways. Kleber gets some playing time. And if Lively is hurt a little bit, you probably still could rest him one more game for Game 5 and then come back in Game 6 and have everybody. So that's what I would do. I would rest him and not play him again until, Saturday is what I would do, and give him the extra day's rest to get completely healthy and then come back to Dallas and close it out in front of the home fans. That's kind of what I was hoping the Thunder were going to do. Win Game 6 in Dallas, come back and win Game 7 here in OKC, but it didn't quite work out that way. So anyway, great game last night. Like I said, I enjoyed what was happening there. I just like good basketball. And I like the fact that, the playoffs are more like old school basketball. Hey, don't cry. You're not going to get all these little touch fouls. Play through it. But it also hurts the NBA when they don't do that all year long. Now, the reason why they don't do it all year long now is because they don't want players getting hurt, and it allows them to stay fresher and healthier throughout the year, and it's not as physical. So that when the playoffs come, it's a lot more physical, but you got guys like James Harden. He doesn't flourish too well in the playoffs because he's so used to touch fouls. Luka cries like a mother, but, by the way, he tied the all-time record for the most triple-doubles in playoff history, tied Wilt Chamberlain for 9. And I just saw a stat the other day. What was it, Wilt Chamberlain? He had, 53 points, the greatest game in NBA history. He had 53 points, 30 rebounds, 14 assists, 8 steals or 11 steals and 8 blocks or something stupid stat line. And I'm like, and I should have wrote it down, or should have copied it. But I was like, 53, 32, 14, 11, and 8 or whatever. It was an insane stat line. I'm just like, wow. But you can't do anything like that because he was so far ahead of his time as far as his dominance as a player. In today's game, there's way more athletic. The guys are way more athletic. They play more basketball. And in America, when it comes to America, the reason why the Europeans are dominating American basketball, I believe, is a couple of things. One is that European basketball players, they're playing older people younger. Now, my philosophy is, now I may be a little jaded because my philosophy is with my younger kids, I want them playing up. And the parent, we're getting beaten. I told the parents, I used to try to get, say, listen, get over what the win-loss is. I'm getting you ready for high school. Because if you're going to play in high school, you're going to play against kids older. So let me get used to the speed. Let me get them used to the physicality of the game. So when they get to high school, they're used to the older guys. They're used to the speed. They're used to the physicality of it because they've been playing against it. And then when they play kids their own age, they're going to dominate them because why? Because they are more physical and they're faster because they've had to keep up. But it's a hard time with a lot of parents in America because of the simple fact they want to win, and teams don't get a chance to develop. Where the European players is the exact opposite. Fundamentals, they develop, they play against older people and older men. And by the time they get to the NBA, even though they're 18, 19, they're used to playing against 25, 26, 28, 30-year-old guys. It's no big deal to them. Now, the American players are more athletic, but the game is more physicality. And Victor Wembanyama made the comment, Wemby did, about how the European game is more physical. And people got mad at him, and I think what he was trying to say, what he was saying is that because the game is played on the ground, the American game is played in the air. And it took him a while to adjust to that part of it, and I think he's adjusting fine. Now you got the American players who very few of them are fundamentally sound at all. They're just better than everybody else because athletically it's more of athletic. You play a bunch of games. You don't practice as much. You don't work at fundamentals as much. Now, what separates the major guys, the big-time guys like an SGA and those type guys, they're fundamentals and they work on the fundamentals. So their fundamentals when it comes to athleticism, you might be here athleticism, but fundamentally they're going to take it to another level because they have that ability because they do have the solid fundamental background or the foundation. So you have to you have to build a foundation along with the athleticism, and then you play so many games. It's like here at Santa Fe Family Life Center. Dude, I mean, every weekend, Dominique, Fadeaway Hoops, they have a tournament. Or, there's AAU or Trey Young, or they're going to, play in Adidas because back when I grew up, there was just AAU in high school. That was it. Now there's AAU, there's Nike, there's Adidas, there's Under Armour, there's Puma, there's MAYB, there's oh God, I can't think of another other one. There's a couple other ones. You've got all these tournament things that you've got all these teams playing in, and so these kids every weekend you're playing a tournament, and you're getting 3 and 4 games. And I never did that. I didn't believe in that. I believed in playing one game a week, and then one tournament a month. Because I'm trying to teach you fundamentals. I'm trying to build your fundamentals to get you ready for high school. Nobody gives a crap what you did in grade school. Nobody cares what you did in junior high. It only matters what you did in high school. That's what matters. Now, do I remember what I did in junior high? Yeah, we lost one game. Different times, but we lost one game. From 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I lost one game. Okay, so, I mean, that's the stuff that happens. But in high school, we lost 10. So that's, but I remember the high school. I remember who we played. I remember whatever. Junior high is kind of a blank. But I do remember we lost one game. I know that. So my job is, and my deal as a coach was to build your fundamentals by practicing, by working on it in the game, to figuring out then once a month in a tournament, we would go to a tournament and then we'd get our 3 to 4 games, 5 games in so we could work on, okay, then we'd come back at practice and go, okay, this is what we learned in the tournament. You need to work on this, you need to work on that, you need to work on that because my goal was for the future. European players, their goals are towards the future. American players, future is let me get to the league. Not building themselves to get there. Because they think about playing a bunch of games. Well, you play a bunch of games, you're still not really fundamentally working on yourself. That's why when you saw the deal I just put up for All-NBA, there was 4 European guys or international guys and one American. Why are the best players in the league? That's what I just told you. That's why. What we're doing in America is playing a bunch of games. You got everybody's a coach. Everybody wants to, and the parents want to win. Well, you've got to build something at some point. And the European players, because there's not as many of them, and they're more spread out, so you don't have as many games, as many competitions. So in America, there's much more players, much more competition. Everybody has a tournament. Everybody has a league. Everybody has something going on, which is good. But like I said, I've never been a believer in playing a bunch of tournaments. My deal is get in a league. We play one tournament a month. Let's figure out what we need to do so that when you get to high school, guess what all my players could do? Use either hand. They could play man-to-man defense. Most teams they play zone or they press. Well, that's great, but when you get to high school, what if your coach doesn't do that? What if your coach is a man-to-man guy? Then what the hell are you going to do? You're used to pressing and not doing. You're not learning anything. To me, fundamentals, man-to-man, teaches you everything you need to do down the stretch to get you ready for the future. That's what man-to-man does. So that's how I look at it, and that's how I think that most coaches should, but they don't, because I watch it. I watch it every weekend. I just man, this is really ridiculous. So I just watch TV while do something on my career, because I'm like, man, and I watch the tournament. Something goes wrong, I fix whatever. But for the most part, I'm just like whatever. It just drives me nuts because to me, basketball is you have to have the fundamentals. Then if you have the athleticism to go with the fundamentals, then your ability to succeed is going to you're going to go greater. You're going to go farther. Whereas just taking your athleticism, that's why a lot of these guys are so athletic coming all the way up. Then when they get to the league, they get drafted. Boom. After first contract, 3 or 4 years, and that play, they're done. Why? Because they have no fundamentals. Nobody taught them anything because their junior high coach, their AAU coach, or their MAYB coach, or whatever coach they had, they just want to win. The parents want to win. You got to have some substance. You got to have a balance. You got to have a fundamental, a foundation to go from. And it's just sad that they don't, which is part of the issues that I think that a lot of this has and a lot of this does. But that being said, game to game, what's it tomorrow? The Mavericks and them, it's going to be a good game. I still think that the T-Wolves are going to handle the business. I do believe that, even though the Mavs probably, if like I said, if Lively plays, I think the Mavericks win. If Lively doesn't play, I think they come back for Game 6. Now, like I said, I would sit Lively, rest and make sure he's 100%, then play him in Game 6. Take care of business there. Still have, 5 days, 6 days before, 7 days, or whatever it is, before the next game. Not what is it now? I think it's 8 days. Whatever it is. It's 8 days or 7 days, whatever it is, before the final start against Boston. Now, I've got Kleber. He's had 3 games to play, so now he's in game shape. I've got Lively, Derek Lively. He's had a chance to rest, so now I've got that, and then I can turn around and I can build from there. Everybody's got the rest. Luka's getting healthy. He's rested, and then we're ready to go. Whereas Boston is sitting there. Everybody's rested. Everybody's winging up. Everybody's sitting there winging, and Porzingis is back. So we'll see what happens. But it's going to be exciting to me and to get all that done. That's just kind of the way I'm looking at it right now, but I'm excited about it. And like I said, the Thunder show tonight, we will, after the Storm, which we're doing the show tonight, we will be going over the Thunder season, the Thunder end of season review. And we'll be talking about potential trades for the Thunder. And like I said, we're missing one thing for the Thunder, and that's inside presence. And Sam Presti understands that. I think we're now ahead of schedule of where he thought we would be, or he would have made different decisions. Like he said yesterday, that he realized that, the move that he made with Gordon Hayward was a mistake. And I just think that the reason, like I still believe he went after it because of the contract, the money he was going to be able to get. That's why I think he did it. Plus, I don't think like I said earlier, if Sam Presti would have believed we would have been the number 1 seed, he would have made sure that Glabbert did not make it to Dallas, number 1. And number 2, he would have made moves inside to make us stronger as inside presence. He would have done those 2 things. Because why, if you know you're going to play a team in the finals, or you have a chance to play them, why would you make them stronger this year? I just think that he was helping the Mavericks out. He didn't think we were going to be where we were. And then after the end, it ended up coming back to bite him. But I do believe he will address this situation. My guy Nathan Taylor has thought he didn't know if he would. I believe that he was going to address the situation. I still believe he's going to address the situation this offseason by drafting somebody inside to play. That's the way I look at it, and that's what I believe Sam Presti will do, and I'm excited about seeing what he's going to offer. But we're going to talk about that tonight, possible trades, who do we believe that he could possibly get. I looked at some stuff with, about guards. I'm like, why would you add another guard? Now, if you're going to add another guard, somebody who's bigger than Isaiah Joe, who's somebody stronger. Because to me, Isaiah Joe has, to me, ran his time at the Thunder. I liked what he did last year, and then teams made their adjustments to him. He did not make the necessary adjustments to overcome what the opposing player people did for them, against him, for us. So I think that's a guy. Like I said, to me, it's SGA, SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Wiggins, Kaysen, probably Jay Will. So we're going to keep those guys. So you're keeping and to me, Josh is, it's hard for me. Like, I did not give Josh a grade, and I'm just letting y'all know this now. I did not give Josh a grade because I said all year long, I can't really grade a guy who was not there mentally because of what happened. So I'm kind of up in the air with Josh because I liked what Josh brought to the team. I liked what he could do for us. But at the same side, does he really fit, since J-Dub last year did what J-Dub did, and this year Josh is kind of taking a back seat and doesn't know really what his role is, because when J-Dub's rookie year, Josh was more of a threat and more of a thing. Now that when you added Chet, and J-Dub took a bigger role because that's what the coach wanted, because he's our coach, like I've said many times. And people get mad at me. I'm not knocking the guy. I'm saying his strength is what we needed then. His strength of what we need now is a weakness in him. He doesn't understand the flow. He doesn't understand lineups. He just doesn't. This coaching staff just doesn't. It's clear all year long. If you watch the game, and the one thing you're going to say is his lineups. And after people start watching us long enough nationally, they're saying exactly what I said all year long that people got mad at me for saying. And all I was saying was the truth. His lineups and what he was doing was not beneficial to the Thunder. I'm not knocking him. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying these are facts. But he's fantastic at getting us through what we needed to transition to get to where we are, 100%. But the Athletic called it out. Can this guy coach a superstar? He can't. He doesn't understand the superstar mentality. He doesn't understand. Here, like last night, Anthony Edwards missed a shot, comes back out, gets the ball, and they set up screen, let him shoot again. And he makes it the second time to close out the game, basically, until he fouled Luka on a crazy. I'm like, what the hell? Why are you even near Luka? Why? Just let him shoot. If he makes it, great. What are you doing fouling him? And, of course, Luka missed the free throw, which made the whole difference in the game. But that being said, he doesn't know how to coach a superstar. You put the ball in your best player's hand. You let him do what he does. Game 4. Well, I've said this all year long. What did he do in Game 4? He scored 4 straight times. Then all of a sudden, here comes Chet, can't make a 3, knocks down a 3 easily. Boom, next possession, Dort knocks down a 3. Then he puts it in J-Dub's hands for 2 plays in a row, nothing happens. It's just, he doesn't get it because that's not his philosophy is, and the Thunder, we're a team. No, you have a superstar that's all NBA. The play, the school, everything runs through him. Everybody else is underneath him. We're not a team where we're all the same. You're not going to win with that mentality. You have a superstar, it runs through him, everybody else is underneath. And if you'll notice, all year long, when SGA scores 2 or 3 times in a row, several things happen. One, the opposing team goes, oh, shit. Number 2, our players are like, okay, SGA got this. And it relaxes them. They have no pressure. But when he tries to pass the ball, like when Jay Will shot a 3 and everybody's shooting and Dort's doing crazy stuff, when he's not taking over and making the shots and scoring and relaxes everybody else, then the team plays better. It is what it is. You go back and you watch all year long, but this coach doesn't get it because he doesn't understand. That's not how he coaches. He believes in the G League philosophy. Well, we win as a team. Well, yeah, we win as a team, but when you have a superstar, the ball goes through your superstar. Dallas understands that. The Clippers understand. The T-Wolves understand that. The Denver Nuggets understand that. The Boston Celtics understand that. Milwaukee Bucks understand that. When you have a superstar, the ball goes to them. Everything runs through your superstar. The Thunder doesn't believe in that, and that's just what it is. And you can get mad about it, and I don't really care because I'm telling the truth. And after watching us play, the national media was saying the same damn thing I had been saying all year that you people got mad at. So, bam, in your face. The one thing I sponsor is SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit our guys up at SRB. Appreciate those guys for supporting us. My guy Mark Long, if you have needs for building a complex, you need it surveyed to make sure it doesn't flood and it was laid out properly and there's not going to be any problems with your building, hit our guys up. Also, if you have a neighborhood dam or if you have a water treatment plant, they are the people that can help you with that. Collaborative Logic, if you have needs for computers, software to be written to make your office run smoother, or website design, they are the people to call. And plus, the thing I love about them is they can remote in if your computer's not mechanically broken, but something with the software they can remote in and fix it, which is what I love about these guys. Oak Grove Trucking and my boy Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, he is the man for that. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into the main bank and say my guy Nathan Taylor or Joe Horn or the Commander Randy Wright or Carolyn Hinthorn. And of course, that is 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB East, which is off the Parkway and 39th Expressway, or US 66. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, as my boy Nathan Taylor says, 212 steps if you walk around the car from I-40. YB Peoples, located in Bethany, between Rockwell and MacArthur on 23rd Street. Cannot miss it. And of course, Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, located 4609 Southeast 29th in Dale City, Oklahoma, 405-670-2424. Open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Fridays, 9 to 1. Closed Saturdays and Sundays, proudly serving the Middale area since 1982. And, of course, my basketball camp coming up June 13th to 14th, which is 3 weeks from tomorrow is when it starts. Grades 2nd through 8th. Remember, it's the grade that your child is in right now. Thursdays and Friday from 8 a.m. to 12. $155 is the cost for the 2-day camp. You can Venmo me or Cash Out me at these deals. Use the QR code to sign up and get your T-shirt sizes, because next week I will be ordering T-shirts next Wednesday, I believe. Next Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be ordering T-shirts. So go ahead and do the QR code, get it all set up, and so that we can get you all squared away. I think we have 6 or 7 spots left or something, because I only take a certain amount because this is a camp. And since we only have one court, we try to get everything done in that one court, in that one space. So, and remember, this is not OU camp or OSU camp or, any of these basketball camps. This is a camp that the kids are going to learn how to play. It's going to be competitive. And so if it's a camp that you think they're going to go have fun and run around, your kid's not going to last more than one day, just to let you know. That's not how we do it there at the Matt Clark basketball camp, okay? So that's just a fair warning to you guys. If you're going to do it, make sure that your kid is ready to understand that what they're getting into, because it is a basketball camp, and we do learn basketball. Now, I thought our guy Drew Hinthorn was going to come on today. Clearly, we missed him. But here's the Herbie Husker picks of the day. He's taking the Mets money line plus 106. The Orioles, the money line minus 139. Padres minus 167. The Marlins and the Padres under 7.5 are his picks for today. And then the National and the Braves, he's taking over 8.5 on that, minus 120. I mean, he can tell you what all these he can tell you what all these things are. I don't really gamble, so I don't really do these things, but you can, I mean, the people that gamble understand exactly what he's talking about, okay? And then, of course, the Oilers in hockey tonight playing the Stars at home. The Stars are up 2-1. My Stars, I love my Stars. That's the only hockey team that I really, really enjoy. So my Stars are playing tonight in Edmonton against the Oilers. He's taking the Oilers tonight, money line at home, minus 135 is what he's taking on the money line tonight. So that's kind of what he's doing. Like I said, I don't really gamble, so I don't really understand all this stuff, but he could really tell you that. Now, for those of you who gamble, y'all know exactly what he's talking about. Me, on the other hand, I don't really do it, so I don't really understand. But anyway, last night, the Rangers and the Panthers won in overtime, so the series is now 2-2, going back to New York for Game 3 for the Rangers. They're at home, and what a series that this has been. Man, I just tell you what, it's just exciting to see, and you can hear it can pop up. Here's what it looks like right now. They're 2-2. Dallas, of course, and Edmonton play tonight in their Game 4 to see what's going to happen. And tomorrow night it will be Game 5, and the Florida Panthers are traveling to New York to play against the Rangers. And then, of course, Dallas 2-1, and then they'll be going back. What is this? Today is Wednesday, so Friday they'll be having Game 5 in Dallas. And right now the Mavericks, if they win, let me see, the Mavericks play tomorrow night, which is Thursday, so they'll be playing Saturday night for Game 6 in Dallas, which is kind of crazy. But I'm a huge Stars fan. I need to go to another game. I need to get me a jersey, and I need to go to a game, and because I just want to do that. Because I've been to the Mavs games, and I love the AAC, but it's been a long, long time since I went to a hockey game there. So I need to, now that I'm really, really into it and understand it more, it's something I probably need to go to at some point and do that. Let me see. Of course, let me see. In our games tonight, the Stars, like I said, at the Oilers. The Oilers are 1.5-point favorites. Over under is 6. And as you can tell, everybody's been scoring. So it's going to be interesting, 2-1. Like I said, the Oilers are a better team. They have a better goalie. They're a better team. They should win, but that doesn't mean anything in the playoffs, as you've seen already, with the Thunder being the number 1 seed, Denver being the number 2 seed. Both are gone in the West, so that doesn't really mean a whole lot. And when, like I said, here's how it breaks down when you look at the NBA playoffs, and here's the scheduling. And so when you look at it, I mean, you have the 5 seed against the 3 seed, and the number 5 seed right now in the West is winning the West. So your number 1 seed's gone, your number 2 seed's gone in the West, the number 4 seed are gone in the West. And then, of course, the Celtics being the best team in the East, and the East being as weak as it is, they got lucky that New York was so beat up, which allowed them to not have to play them. And the Pacers, of course, beating the Knicks 4-3. The Knicks were just beat up, and then when Jalen Brunson broke his hand, that was the end of that. Celtics, of course, took care of business and swept the Pacers, even though the Pacers were in the series the whole time. It wasn't like they just beat the hell out of them. They was in the series the whole time. But like I said, the West, number 1 seed, Thunder gone. Number 2 seed, the Nuggets gone. Number 4 seed, Clippers gone. So the West is way more competitive, so you never know exactly who's going to do what when. But I think that the Celtics and the Mavericks, that would be a hell of a series. I don't think the T-Wolves match up with the Celtics as well, but I don't think they're going to, they already blew their chance to get a chance to play them. I believe that, like I said, tomorrow, I think that if Lively plays, I think Dallas closes them out. If Lively doesn't play, I think the Timberwolves beat them in Minnesota, and then they come back, and Dallas takes care of them on Saturday night with both of them. And that's just how I believe it. But to me, I know that you want to get rest and all that, and it would help Luka and it would help all that. But the way I look at the series, like I said earlier, Cleveland needs to play. Needs to get some experience before they go to the finals, so he gets in game shape. Lively they need to play a game together so they can understand what everybody's doing. Where does he like the ball? Because that's now they've got to get back to where they were in rotation. What is your rotation? Who plays, who, when, where, and what? That's where they're at now, and they've got to figure that out, what the rotation is. And that's what they're going to have to do. But you can only do that by playing. And remember, it's the best of 7. So it's going to be hard for them to figure that out by giving away games. You got to do that before the playoffs come to figure out who's doing what, where, how it's going to work out, and all of that. So anyway, I'll tell you it's going to be a short show today. We're going to come back and we're going to have a big show tonight on After the Storm, the OKC Thunder post-game analysis live stream, and we're going to break down the Thunder, what the trades they should make. We're going to talk about my guy Binky Triplet. I think he's going to be on tonight too as well. And what is it? Oak Grove Trucking. What is this? What is his name of his clothing brand line? But we'll talk about his clothing line tonight as well. But he'll give us insights on that. And plus, he does dress a couple of the Thunder players, buy clothes from suits from him. So we're going to get his insight as well tonight. So it's going to be a great show. So, but I did want to come on today and just kind of go over everything. And remember tonight, After the Storm. So go to YouTube, like, subscribe, hit notifications, search After the Storm OKC Thunder. We're going to have a big show tonight, and we're going to have a lot of people on, so we'll be excited about that. So be looking forward to that and to ask any questions and comment. So it's going to be lively, and remember, once a week we're going to be doing a Thunder show every Wednesday night. So that's kind of the plan on what I want to do for that. So that being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay out of this damn weather, and